very warm and heartfelt greeting to everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of BOL SAC podcast. And I, Astha Garwal, the today's host on behalf of Enactus Sri Aurobindo College, is all here to kickstart our episode of the podcast entitled as BOL SAC. As the famous phrase goes by, today's world is shrinking, and the direct implication of that is there is no such field about knowing will be of no use to you. So every topic is meant to be unraveled, every stone is meant to be turned. Being said so, we are here to embark on this journey through this series of podcasts. I would like to introduce you all to our today's guest, Ms. Mrudula Joshi. She's a zero-waste blogger who runs the Ulisu, which is a one-stop shop for all things sustainable. Ulusu is a Kannada word for safe, and it is a much appreciated approach of how one must set their sustainable journey. We are highly obliged to have her here today with us to enlighten all of us on the topic approaches to sustainable living. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Astha, and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, with so much you're doing, it's natural for all of us to have questions regarding it. So, without further ado, let's begin with the very first question. According to Google, sustainability means avoidance of depletion of natural resources in order to maintain an ecological balance. So, how do you interpret sustainability?
Exactly as the definition. Also, I believe that sustainability to me is making sure we live a life in such a way that our actions don't leave behind negative impact. Even if not positive, at least we should leave behind with a neutral impact. Leaving behind no impact, in fact. So living in such a way that your choices and your decisions don't end up in wasteful things or pollution, or lead to more demand for unsustainable practices. To the best of abilities that we can practice, to the most practical level, is what sustainability is for me.
Okay. We all know there has been hard time to acquaint people with sustainability, and it is still not yet fully achieved. But it was really mind-boggling the other day when I came across an article that said how making sustainable items require and waste a lot of energy. So, what do you think sustainable living actually saving resources?
I think sustainable living can save resources, but if you call anything a sustainable product and you increase demand for it, and if people continue buying the way they buy, at the frequency they buy, and they want brand new things all the time, and they're not willing to buy secondhand, then yes, you will end up creating the same amount of wastefulness, and resource and the energy usage will be the same. And anything done in mass production, anything done on that kind of scale will always be unsustainable. The sustainable living part is a separate thing which seeps into not just your consumer choices, it seeps into many other aspects of your life that you can change. In fact, a lot of times sustainable living prevents or helps you save money, doesn't force you to buy products. You will end up buying much less, and you'll contribute much less demand to these brand new resources as well. So that would actually save a lot more energy than simply feeling like you're living a sustainable lifestyle just because you're buying sustainable products. The products might help, but at an unsustainable demand, it's obviously going to be harmful for the planet.
All right. According to what your LinkedIn said, you were a design student and worked in those fields. So, what inspired you to start Ulisu?
I worked in fashion design, so I was constantly exposed to how the garment industry treats resources, and the rush to finish a collection, two collections, based on seasons and things like that. And now it has increased to several collections per year. And I just saw the needless production of products which no one had great demand for, but most of it was being pushed on the consumers with a lot of smart marketing, right? A lot of manipulative marketing. And I just felt like unless I find a more sustainable way to join this industry and contribute in a more positive way, working in that field was not giving me the fulfillment that I thought. And at the same time, I was also living zero waste. In my personal life, I was living zero waste. Then I would go to office, and then I'm like contributing to something that I don't believe in. So I just felt like it was time for me to give my 10 hours to this page that where I was documenting my journal, where people were learning how to live zero waste, and they would come and tell me that my content was helping them a lot. And that's how we started Ulisu. We were a resource page of all the resources. You could have gone on our website at that time and seen hyperlinks to a lot of brands. We were not even a shop back then. We were just a resource page for people to get their tips and whatever that they need to get access to quickly. if they wanted to go zero waste. So from that, today we have evolved into like an e-commerce marketplace as well. We offer, product solutions, also brands. We offer affiliate, offers, and of course, I enjoy making content, so I've continued that as well.
All right. So actually, zero waste living and sustainable lifestyle are two very overlapping terms, I think. So can you please throw some light on the same?
So, like in a Venn diagram, sustainability would be the bigger circle and zero waste would be inside it. Like it's a part of it. It's one of the techniques which you can use to, like, understand sustainability, like how some people work on, switching to just public transport, walking more, that is the travel part of, trying to be more sustainable. Some people work on their dietary preferences, like they'll try to go plant-based, vegan, and because they believe that that will help cut down your, impact on the planet. Zero waste is that part of your life which deals with how much waste you're producing as a result of your lifestyle, which is so pervasive in every area of our choice, and it's extremely dependent on the way you shop. The kind of consumer you are determines how much waste you're creating. So it's one of the many practices which you can feel inspired to follow if you want to live sustainably. So that's the difference.
Okay, that's helpful. So what goes in your mind when you shop something? Like, since I very well know that impromptu purchasing anything and regretting it later is not a zero waste living. So what are your conscious thoughts before you make a purchase?
I delay the purchase as much as possible, because even if the purchase is something that is sustainable, like you said, sustainable products, I think about whether I need it at all. I wait for 30 days, and if it was something that was impulsive, I will forget about it in those 30 days. And if it was something that is really important to my life, I would have bought it whether or not there's a sale. So I wait for 30 days and I see, did I really feel the need for it in my day-to-day life? Did a moment come up in my routine where I felt like, oh my god, I just couldn't do without that item? Life would have been much easier. I would have had much more value if I had that item in my life. So I wait for 30 days, and at the end of 30 days, if I still feel like I want to buy it, I go ahead and buy it. So that's how I make my choices. I don't try to think too many factors, because I feel that no matter what you buy, it will always have some unsustainable impact behind it. The best you can do is buy as little as possible and buy only essentials and necessities. And that will really help you make more conscious choices. That's my technique, I guess.
Okay, that's good. It's not easy being an entrepreneur, and there are several challenges to it. So what were your biggest challenges of being an entrepreneur?
My challenge as a female entrepreneur, maybe I have not noticed it so far. Maybe, like, people believing in your ambition is something that is like taken less seriously sometimes. But my main challenge as an entrepreneur is honestly believing that we are offering a unique value. I'm like constantly questioning myself, am I offering anything unique, and having self-doubt a lot of times. So working on that is like the biggest challenge. If you want to be an entrepreneur in any field, you'll always have moments of self-doubt, and you have to kind of work through it on your own. You don't really have a manager, you don't really have a boss to come and give you a pep talk on these things. So and luckily for me, I have a very supportive community. So I get my pep talk from my followers, who remind me time to time in my DMs that, how much value our content has created for them, how someone suddenly got inspired and started changing their habits, or even just one aspect of their life, that makes me very happy. And when I see such messages, I think that's literally the only thing that keeps me going.
All right, ma'am. It was insightful to hear you. As a last remark, if you could just emphasize your thoughts on how a general public can make initial lifestyle changes or eco-friendly swaps to commence their zero-waste living.
So if you're finding it difficult to do like the big changes, like bringing a compost system at home, or making something that is intimidating for you, what I would recommend is, this is when product switches come handy. So bring some kind of a product, essential product, like toothbrush, or like a toothpaste switch, or maybe the vessel scrubbers, or something simple to your house, so that you can visually see the changes happening in front of you. You will visually see, maybe buying a shampoo bar is going to replace the plastic bottle shampoo at in your bathroom shelf, right? And slowly you're going to see the plastic reducing in your house, the waste reducing in your house. So when you visually see the changes happening, you might feel more inspired to like do more. Is my suggestion. And approach it with the enthusiasm of or the motivation of changing habits. Keep it simple. Don't look at it as, I mean, it is a responsibility to the planet, but on a daily basis, if you're waking up and you're worrying about your responsibility to the planet, it's going to feel like a huge pressure. And you'll want to escape that pressure all the time. But if you look at it just as a habit, as a hobby, something you're working on for yourself, like a personal change you want to bring for your happiness, then I think it will be much easier for you to work on it and go easy on yourself.
Okay, that was helpful. Thank you so much, once again, for your worthy time. I'm sure that our audience will definitely incorporate your pieces of advice in their personal lives. We hope to hear from you in near future as well. That was it for today's podcast in BOL SAC. Reach out to us with any questions, suggestions, and recommendations. Our podcast is telecasted on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on our also very our YouTube channel, which is Enactus Sri Aurobindo College. You can reach out to us on our official social media handles as well. See you all again next time, Tuesday, sharp at 8, with yet another interesting topic and an eminent guest. Till then, take care. Signing off, your today's host, that is Astha. Until next time, bye guys.